Boy, howdy. Welcome to the Kansas City Chiefs, Big Bob. You can see why Big Bob was placed over Jared Wiley in that first unofficial depth chart. I think you kind of got to see a lot of what Big Bob can do, and I'm excited to see maybe what he can do in the second preseason game as well. Stock rising on Big Bob, Matty.
Agree. He was on my list of things to talk about when we started going a little bit more speed round and not hitting the big headlines. Because listen, he played a couple reps with the first team offense minus Mahomes. I think it was that second season they came in, but 85 was out there. I know Big Bob can block a little bit, and it was nice to see him at this age when he went out there. He didn't look like a washed athlete.
He did some good things. I thought he caught the ball well.
There might be a defender or two that pops up a little bit later that wasn't quite moving the way that I was expecting him to move. Yeah. Big Bob was. He was striding out. He on that crosser when he was coming across the field, he was moving a little bit. So I don't know if he has the same ups he once had or anything like that. I don't know if he can be a full-time tight end, but to be your third tight end that comes in the Blake Bell duty where you're probably the best inline blocker, you're the most physically imposing, like able to deal with that wear and tear, but still have the ability to stride out like he was showing. That's pretty big for the Chiefs right now.
Bob Tani is taking advantage of his opportunities right here. Here's the thing. So when I look, some of the nuance to roster construction, right, is there's got to be some roles that have to be filled. There has to be, every now and then it's not necessarily the 53 most talented players or, upside all the time and all that stuff. And we know that, we know it's sometimes there's special teams weaving their way into it. I think with Bob Tani, I think talking about the blocking ability, having some inline ability, I think is really valuable to his case because if it's not him, Jared Wiley is your inline blocker. And I think it was very up and down for him as a blocker last season when we watched him. I still think there's a long way to go. And plus, he's been dealing with some, coming back from that injury anyways, as it is. Bob Tani looks like he's got a little bit of juice, but he also looks like he has that inline blocking ability, which I think is valuable. And so I think he can do it a little bit better than even like a Noah Gray. So I think that's a trait that you like when you're kind of trying to build the bottom of your roster and build your tight end room. Like that's a case to be made for Big Bob Tani. So
I want to talk more about Bob Tonyan. I'm sorry. Big Bob Tonyan has got me stoked because here's the thing. I knew of Bob Tonyan and was lightly a fan of Bob Tonyan when he was with the Packers early on. And I was just like, wow, I like how that guy plays football. He's just like a football guy. Now I know he's not the guy that's going to make the headlines, anything like that. Not a sexy football player. Boy, how does he have great hair? He does have that going for him. But I did like what you said, it makes a perfect compliment for this team. He's like the Blake Bell type, but can also be a potential weapon in the passing game. Probably Noah Gray light is probably the best way to describe it, but his inline blocking ability is very exciting. I like the diversity in this room and how it's all shaping out. But yeah, I was surprised personally when it came out first that he was ahead of Jared Wiley because we know what they thought of Jared Wiley coming out, why they drafted him, why they selected him. So that was kind of a surprise to me. But then to see him on the field and doing it, you're like, okay, that makes a lot of sense why he's ahead of Jared Wiley. And I want to make sure everyone gets their Big Bob takes off. So I gotta Maddie, do you have any more Big Bob takes?
No, I think I'm tapped out on the Big Bob takes. Listen, I think more so than Jared Wiley, I don't know how to say this the right way. He's coming back from this injury, and it's clearly something that it looks like he's still working through, right? Like they hit him that little pass in the flat, and he tried to put a little dead leg move on, but it didn't seem like he had the same juice right away that he maybe had coming out of college last year or before the injury. So he might still be working back from his injury, but Jared Wiley was never particularly a strong blocker. So when you're looking at a team that already has Travis Kelce and Noah Gray ahead of you, who are willing blockers, but neither are going to be great at doing the dirty work, lining up next to a defensive end and having to seal them off or anything like that. I don't know if Jared Wiley's the next guy you really want to go to and be like, that's our advantage. And Jake Brenningstool, who has been hurt and unable to play, it sounds like he was off to a good start in camp, but that's not really his game either, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just they kind of have a very specific type, and I think they could get by without a quote unquote blocking tight end. But if everyone's going to be hurt and struggling a little bit, you might as well go with the guy that can block. So I don't know. I think that he's always going to be sneaky competitive for the spot. Seeing him get some early run, having a strong showing, and just looking not as washed as I thought he was going to athletically, I think was a big start for him.
I think this team also they last year rolled out those 3 tight ends, and they also rolled out kind of a fullback, but not really, in Carson Steele. It's like they kind of had a lot of blocking questions when it came to some of their skill players at the tight end / football or fullback position as it was last year. So not to say that they won't try to trot that out, because they kind of did last year, but I think that this team probably needs a little bit more of what Bob Tani is bringing to the table. So I do think he is absolutely worth paying attention to.
Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
I am enjoying an 8-year, 6-month-old aged bottle of Ben Holiday. It is available in select states, and it is absolutely delightful. Is that the same one you have, Maddie? Do you have the North Carolina bottle?
I do not. I have soft red wheat.
You're the foundation pick. That's what I have. I got the Casey foundation pick right here.
So we're enjoying some toast game here. Brought to you by Ben Holiday, bottled in bond bourbon, an absolutely delightful bourbon, and also a really fun experience out there if you ever want to get out there and just experience that. It is one of the nicest places, just a great place to go out and enjoy. I think we've got some events coming out at KCSN for some of the college football games. I am trying to get out to one of those, so we will see if I can get out one of those if the flag football schedule is going to allow it. I do think there are some players that still need their love, and we're going to give it to them with Toast Game. I will give the floor to Tucker D. Franklin first. So, Tucker, what you got?
Yes. Thank you for giving me the low-hanging fruit here. I am raising my glass to Tyquan Thornton. I want to talk about Tyquan Thornton because he started the football game with Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, there were 2 wide receivers that would usually start the game with Patrick Mahomes out of this game, but I don't think that's not nothing that he was out there with Patrick Mahomes to start this football game. He was a target on a Patrick Mahomes pass that was eventually ruled a pass interference, so it doesn't go down as an actual attempt, but that's who Mahomes was throwing the ball to first. I think there's a lot to like about Tyquan Thornton, how he's been putting himself in position to separate off the line of scrimmage, to make this roster, to do all the things that he needs to do to be a Kansas City Chiefs and a deep threat for this offense as they're trying to get the deep ball going a little bit more. I got excited about Tyquan Thornton, seeing him in that number 2. Good number for a wide receiver, by the way. That crisp white uniform. Mm-hmm. It just looks like it's a perfect fit. Raising the glass to Tyquan Thornton.
Love that one. Love that one. And that was one of the opportunities I think we had to show some love here.
Boom.
Let's see if we can make it 2 for 2. Maddie Lane, what you got?
Oh, let's just go future Hall of Famer Josh Simmons. I don't think no, I'm kidding. Also, shout out Josh Simmons. He did great. You deserve to be in every Toast game ever. Let's stick at the left tackle position and go with another one of my guys, Esa Poole, from Washington State, number 79, played left tackle for almost the entire second half. And listen, he's still a work in progress. This guy played basketball most of his life, switches over to left tackle at Washington State. Obviously, Washington State's got a little funky offense going on from time to time, so his technique isn't always perfect. He looks like a basketball player playing left tackle. It's a lot of footwork. The feet are moving a ton, but he's staying balanced. He's staying in front of guys. He is constantly between a pass rusher and the quarterback at all times. He's really large human, uses his length of his arms really well to just get, guide rushers around. So I was really excited what I saw from him. We need some work in the run game. That'll come. We're a basketball player. Okay. We are pass protector. We're not a road grader yet, but we'll get there. So shout out Esa Poole, Toast Game, for your first experience in the NFL. I thought you did a great job. You didn't look like you definitely were not the worst tackle the Chiefs sent out there. So
great point.
Gentlemen, we're 2
I got 1 more. You don't go with him here, by the way.
We're 2 for 2, and I think we're about to go. I think you're gonna. I think you know who this is about to be. I think it's going to be a 3 for 3. It is a 3 for 3. We've accomplished it. Maddie, do you want to guess who my toast game's going to?
Yeah, me for my performance in our fantasy draft.
We got to talk about that real quick. Tucker,
I heard a rumor. I heard a rumor about this fantasy draft. I just need to know if it's true.
Okay, that rumor's true, and we'll talk about that later. We can talk about it now. But also, with 2 of his first 3 picks, Matty Lane took quarterbacks.
Yeah, he told me.
It's a 1 quarterback league, and he took Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. He thinks he's driving the price up on one of them.
Oh, yes, I am, buddy. It's a nice league. You guys don't got quarterbacks.
Yeah, I got the market. I understand it. I think I got it.
If you guys messed up and let Jalen Hurts come around round 5, I was taking him too. I was going to do it. I know I was going to do it. I had you guys shaking. I know it too. You took Joe Burrow. You were such a fraud. You are such a fraud. You took the person that you hate more than anybody else in the world, and you have to root for him every single week. You realize that every single week you have to turn on your TV, look at that cornball in the eye who has somebody choose his outfit for him, and root for him.
It's a consolation for if he does well, right? It's like a little consolation if he performs well. I didn't feel good about it. And I think a lot of the league didn't feel good about it either. Anyway,
if I would have got 3 quarterbacks though, you guys would have been off the walls there. I wish I could have been a fly on that in the wall in that room.
That is the lowest point projections.
That's incorrect, actually, by far.
In the league.
By far incorrect.
I get to root for just the defense to be terrible.
Actually, good play there because their defense is buns. It made Tanner McKee look. They had their 1 starting, and Tanner McKee looked so good.
I don't know how I feel about it, but
I'm writing a letter. I'm going to get Lamar Jackson to the running back spot. Bill Polian's on my side, so I actually drafted a running back.
Flex.
I will also say the rest of Matty's team is not good either.
Your team's great.
There's also
I played the long game for the future. Here it is. I played the long game for the future and spent a round 3 pick on a guy on my bench, and Kent's projected to score like 4 more points than me. So let that sink in.
Glue guys is what Matty went with. Matty's got a team full of glue guys.
Anyways, Matty, who do you think I was going to say we need to go? We need
further performance.
No.
Can I have a guess?
Yeah, Tuck.
Matt Ariza.
Yeah. Boom! Let's go. I think we were all on the same page. There's only a few players that still need to get brought up that got their love. Matt Ariza with an absolute boom of a punt. 67 yards. Noel Williams down there, I think, making a play on that one too. So, Ariza, good job there. I think that was one of the better punts that we've seen him hit since he got to Kansas City. So shout out Matt Ariza, the final toast game of the day, going to the punter for a big booming punt. Very good job by him there. So one final toast game before we get out of there.
I want to add some more numbers to this. 5 punts for Ariza today, an average of 57. Here's the big one that I was most excited about with Ariza's day: 2 inside the 20, 2 down inside the 20. I know he did have 5 punts, but like he also had at least 2 of those 5 punts were just like, okay, kick it as far as you can. And he did. He kicked it nearly 70 yards that one time, and he averaged 57 yards a punt. That's insane. That's a good.
That is an insane distance. And also, there was one that was a little bit. He kind of got lucky on one of them. Kind of like, I don't know how it kind of just it went flat and kind of rolled, but it rolled perfectly like to the 5, which was just, if it works, like by all means do it. But
I also have another. Can I guess one more, or can I throw one more out there?
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew. I want to give a shout out to Gardner Minshew. Ooh. He was better than what Carson Wentz was, so that's a plus. And I think the Chiefs have the best quarterback room in the NFL, and I don't think it's close.
Is that because Patrick Mahomes is in it?
Well, Patrick Mahomes, obviously, but like their number 2 guy is better, I think, than a lot of other teams' number 2. I tweeted out the list of. I went back and I found out all the 1s and 2s, and I think that they have the deepest quarterback room in the NFL.
Well, listen, as long as you just end at QB2 and don't look at QB3, I think you're safe there.
Yeah. No, that's what I did. 1 and 2.
But then you look at QB4, and now we're cooking. Chris Oladokun.
I guess that would be 4, yeah.
Yep. I think this is the best. I think it's the best preseason week 1 post game show we've ever done in the history of KC Sports Network.